It's Monday, November 20th, and time for your Barbados Today Morning News Update. Thanks for joining us. I'm Frenella Wedderburn. The blatant disrespect of the traffic laws of Barbados will not be tolerated. The warning from Transport and Works Minister Michael Lashley as he addressed a Barbados Road Safety Association church service at the Sanctuary Empowerment Center in observance of World Day of Remembrance for Road Traffic Victims. Making specific reference to the Road Traffic Act, Minister Lashley revealed that PSV operators were flouting the law when playing music on vehicles, and he's made it clear that authorities will be enforcing the law.
I'm seeing the creation now of a Barbadian that believes that he can disrespect authority, disrespect the institutions that we have built so far, disrespect values and principles inspiring our Constitution, and values that we were taught by not only by the church, but the schools and families and persons in the community, and that it is all well and fine, that there's no law, there's nobody that can stop them, that I can do it. And if you say anything to me, you're wrong. You're wrong. Although, on our law books, we have many laws. And for one instance, the Road Traffic Act, in its present form, rule out the playing of music on public service vehicles. Section 44 of the regulations. There is a law. It means that we have to enforce these laws.
The opposition Barbados Labour Party is promising to usher in a new regime of transparency and accountability in Barbados if it forms the next government. This as the party released the first draft of its Integrity Commission bill over the weekend, which it says will help curb rampant corruption in the country. According to BLP candidate and former Attorney General Dale Marshall, the proposed bill will see the establishment of a 6-member commission with investigative powers to inspect reports of corruption. It will also protect whistleblowers.
The most important item for a person who has information to be cognizant of is that anything that they disclose to the Commission will be confidential. The commissioners have a duty, have an obligation for secrecy. Even the very workings of the commission will be such that an individual will be able to come out and spread what has been. In a sense, it's a new paradigm for us. That's one of the reasons why we want to give it constitutional protection. But the protection will be in two forms. Firstly, in the fact that the information disclosed is going to be private and confidential, and secondly, that any person who seeks to in any way victimize, punish, or disadvantage the whistleblower for having done what we consider to be their civic duty will be liable to significant criminal fines.
Marshall says not only will the proposed Integrity Commission bill see those found guilty facing jail time and fines as high as $500,000, but it will also scrap what is currently on the statute books.
This is not a matter of political posturing. The fact is that the existing Act of 2012 is woefully deficient in important areas and cannot usefully serve to maintain integrity in public life in our current circumstances. The commission which was created in the 2012 Act is a fairly helpless and toothless creature, and it is hamstrung by the very instrument which created it.
Yet another young man has been held in connection with the Kadooment Day shooting, which claimed the life of 20-year-old Tariq Rock and left 23 people injured. He is 22-year-old Shaquem Romario Clark of Golden Ridge, St. George, who will appear in the District A Magistrates Court later today, accused of 23 counts of endangering life and 1 count of violent disorder. Clark is the 6th man to face such charges. St. Lucie takes home the coveted Spirit of the Nation title for the 5th time. Damien Rock and Janice King took home the 2017 Most Outstanding Parish Ambassadors Award, as well as the Parish Project Award at the Sir Garfield Sobers Gymnasium over the weekend. St. Joseph participants Francois Carrington and Kenisha Leacock received the second place prize, while St. John couple Kyle Prescott and Leah Howell took home the third place spot.
There's regional and international news after this short break.
Barbados Today, news you can trust.
In news from the region, a star witness testifies in the long-running corruption trial of former Turks and Caicos Premier Michael Missick. Following a court summons, Missick's former Hollywood wife, Lisa Ray McCoy, gave evidence from Los Angeles via a video link to the courtroom in Turks and Caicos. We get more in this report from Bermuda Broadcasting News.
American actress Lisa Ray McCoy, the former wife of Chief Defendant Michael Missick, gave damning details of a luxurious and lavish lifestyle she and the former premier once enjoyed. The couple married in 2006 in a lavish ceremony and were divorced by 2008. According to the Turks and Caicos Weekly News, which has been covering the trial, Ms. McCoy told the courtroom in the early days when she was first introduced to Missick, he allegedly told her he was worth between $100 to $180 million. Prosecutors say Missick's net worth was around $50,000 annually in the early 2000s, and by the time he fled the country in 2009, he had built up a fortune of $180 million. Ms. McCoy testified to a courtship that saw trips around the world and her frequent visits to the Turks and Caicos Islands. Missick even arranged for her to be paid $300,000 of taxpayers' money to star in a photo shoot supposedly promoting tourism to the islands. During her love affair, she recalled receiving various credit cards from Missick, including the prestigious Black American Express card. As to who paid her exorbitant bills, she recalled handing them to Missick, who somehow took care of them. Much of her testimony surrounded the use of private jets, referred to during the trial as the couple's Hollywood lifestyle. Ms. McCoy revealed while married, she and Missick took at least 3 round-trip journeys every month through a leased private jet, around $300,000 a month, coming to a total cost of around $6 million over a 2-year period.
And on the international scene, he's been booted from his party, but a defiant President Robert Mugabe has vowed to stay in power for several weeks. The 93-year-old Zimbabwe leader, in a live television broadcast to the nation, said he would preside over the party's Congress slated for December. The ZANU-PF earlier sacked him as party leader and gave him less than 24 hours to resign as president or be impeached.
The Congress is due in a few weeks from now. I will preside over its processes, which must not be prepossessed by any acts calculated to undermine it or to compromise the outcomes in the eyes of the public.
And that's news. But for the very latest, visit our website at www.barbadostoday.bb. You can also subscribe to our e-paper, email updates, and like us on Facebook. We're also on Izumi Media in bus terminals, as well as Screenplay at supermarkets and gas stations near you. Or you can also hear us on Mix 96.9 FM. I'm Fernella Wedderburn. To have a wonderful day.